Welcome to the City of Miramar Business Connect, where we connect your business to what's important. Today, we will be discussing marketing your business for success. Our guest panelist we have today is Ms. Professor Ken of EKN Links, and we also have as our guest panelist Ms. Carolina Taurel of AlternaBit. And I am your host for today, Johnny Douglas from the City of Miramar Economic and Business Development. So sit back, relax, and get connected. We'd like to start our segment out by asking our guest panelists to tell us a little bit about themselves and their business. We'll start off with the young lady of the hour, Ms. Taurel.
Hi, thank you, Johnny. Thanks for having me today. Nice to be here next to you and Professor Keen. Thank you. My name is Carolina Taurel, and I am representing my business. I'm a small business located in Miramar. My firm is AlternaBit. We are a web design and branding agency located in the heart of Miramar. And I've been serving this community and the surrounding areas for the past 10 years. I'm a member of the Miramar Pembroke Pines Chamber of Commerce, and I've been in business for about 10 years, but I have been in the marketing and branding field for about 20. That's me.
I think you're muted, Johnny.
And Professor Ken. Wonderful.
Hey, good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be here, and I'm glad I could participate in helping out the local businesses here in Miramar. I've been a Miramar citizen now for 21 years. I'm originally from New York and moved down here, and this is paradise. So I'm glad that I'm here. My company, EKN Links, basically helps my clients get customers, keep customers, and grow customer lifetime value. So I do that through growth marketing, right, which is a combination of some traditional marketing tools and all of the online digital tools that we now have. So I work with my clients to create content, manage their social media campaigns and programs, really come up with the messaging to help them succeed. And we also build out websites because sometimes they need a website. Believe it or not, 47% of all businesses still don't have an effective website, which is pretty mind-blowing. So we do that as well. And yes, I'm also a professor. I teach the Facebook digital marketing program at Miami-Dade College, and I have online courses throughout the country, actually throughout the world now that we've gone, through this coronavirus. We're basically global now. So that's what I do. Good to see everybody.
Wonderful, wonderful. So now you understand why I have both the powerhouse that I have on this segment so that our businesses, listening audience out there who are business owners can listen and hear and get great tips and ideas on how they can boost their business for success. I'm figuring now today with the coronavirus that we have going on and people being a little skeptical of going out, people being a little skeptical of how they spend their money, they're more wise now how they're spending it. The best way to reach customers and to let your business be known is through marketing. Would you guys say that's correct?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Without marketing, no one knows you exist. I've been a marketer for over 30 years. I worked for 4 Fortune 500 companies, and I've done it for myself, and I teach it at the graduate undergrad. And I always say marketing is the heart of a business. And if you don't have the marketing, you really don't have a business. And Johnny, what happens here in the small business community is everybody works in their business. They don't work on their business. So they don't have time to do marketing. And that's how you grow your business. That's how you get the customers and make them your customers and retain them and grow your business. Every customer you get grows your business.
Wow. I totally agree with that. It's kind of like when you're watching your favorite show, which my wife keeps it on Hallmark Channel, of the commercials. The commercials is somewhat just like I link it to marketing. Commercials when they come up. How important is it, Carolina, for a business to do intentional marketing? Um, how do they pinpoint and grab hold of a certain audience, particular audience that they are looking for? How do they do that? Is that important to do that?
That's a very interesting question. I think their marketing nowadays needs to only be intentional. There is no mass marketing. There are no mass audiences. Every single type of audience has to be very niche specific, and that's how you can really maximize your growth, like Professor Keene said. But more so, not only be intentional, but also be authentic. I think that the brands that are out there that are promoting themselves through social media, through their websites, really have to become very human in the way they put their messages across these platforms. And they really have to touch on emotion, action, and tangible, just everything that can be touched through the senses, because people connect through emotion. And that purchasing process happens when I can say, oh, wow, they're actually speaking about something that matters to me, matters to my family, matters for my education of my children. And I connect with the brand, and then the buying purchase and the whole rest of the process is so much smoother and so much easier. And it all happens through a platform that allows that communication, right? The message is sent out, the recipient is your niche, and that's where it connects, right? Most of these channels should lead to your website, and that's really where my core specialty is, and creating that website that really can hold. It's the foundation of everything else that's being put out there. So intentional marketing is pretty much the way to go.
I like that. I like that. Go ahead, Professor.
Yeah, I think Carolina made a great point. There was actually a study that came out, I think it was last week, by the IAB, the Advertising Bureau, and it looked at personalization. Believe it or not, email marketing is still one of the strongest ways to market your business. The open rate to click, when they click it open, it has to be interesting and it has to be responsive. It has to be personalized. You get a higher open rate, about a 60% open rate on something that's personalized, something that's one-to-one. And it's very important today. It's a one-to-one conversation. I've been in marketing over 30 years. We started out by doing one thing for everybody, right? And as we progress, now today, everything is itemized, everything is individualized. And there are tools right now. I have a video program that's pretty amazing. I can actually just create a video, tie in someone's LinkedIn or Facebook page, and when they get the video, all their personal information is in that video, and it says, "Oh wow, he sent the video just to me," and it's phenomenal. All these AI tools we have now are just phenomenal.
So what I'm gathering here from you two experts in your field is that personalizing your business and making sure that it's an intentional audience that you're targeting and that you're appealing to them in a way that makes them want to say, "Hey, I want to do business with you," is vital at this point in time right now.
100%. Yes.
Yes, agreed.
Okay, so I'm hoping that businesses who are listening to this segment are really grabbing hold to this, because I think it is very important that businesses know that just because you're going through a pandemic where we're going now, where people are feeling a little hesitant, doesn't mean that business can't grow. It doesn't mean that you can't conduct business. Now is marketing for every business? Can any business use the marketing?
Does every business want to generate money?
Pretty much.
So, if every business wants to generate a profit, I would say marketing is for every business. It's the basic foundation of any company. And I don't care if you're a local pizzeria, if you're a Fortune 500 company, everybody has to market. There's always been an interesting question when you think about marketing. Everybody knows who Coca-Cola is, right? If Coca-Cola stopped advertising today, will their sales go up or down or stay flat? What do you think would happen? So why, if they're number one all over the world, why do they still advertise? Why do they still market? They're number one. You're going to pick a Coca-Cola no matter where you go. So that's how I answer that question. If everybody's advertising, and if you're not doing it, guess who's doing it? Your competition.
You couldn't have said it better. And I'd like to add to that, out of sight, out of mind.
Yep.
That's pretty much how it works. You fall asleep, you lose.
That's right. And you know what's interesting about that, Carolina, too? Now we're in the middle of this crisis. So the last 6 weeks, if you see a major brand advertising, what is that brand saying? That brand is saying, we're here for you. We understand your needs, all these things. Why? Because no one's going to the store there buy their product. So they don't want to stay out of sight and out of mind. They're reminding you, hey, don't forget about Professor Ken. I'm still here and I care about you. So when we get back to normal, remember that I cared about you, okay?
Wow. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And
So
so Caroline, I've heard you speak on many occasions, and that is your baby right there. Branding and I'd love you to expound more on branding, like when you have a client in front of you and they're talking about branding, what are some of the things that you're asking a company and what does it take for a great brand?
thank you, Johnny. Yes. I think that it's essential that any business that's in business to make a profit, that they really take their brand seriously. And the brand is just not their logo. So when I have these initial conversations with potential clients, startups, which is, I love startups because they probably have no clue of how big of an opportunity they're standing on, right? So when I have the opportunity to get in front of a startup with potential, I really reinforce the branding importance, right? So if you have a strong brand that is niche specific, talked about that a few minutes ago, and that understands its audience, understands its target market, has an immediate connection with that target market, I think if that is set up correctly, if that, along with a website, digital marketing, and the rest to come, I think that setup process and creating the brand experience,
Mm,
the experience of, oh, I'm wearing this polo shirt, I'm wearing these Nikes, I'm wearing these Jordans, right? That is the experience that people want to have. Doesn't matter if that's a $50 product or a $5,000 product. They want to live that experience. That's why brands are so valuable, because they become their own entity and they can be sold for millions of dollars. So build the brand, they will come, right?
wow.
So that's really important for businesses to invest in their brand.
I love this. I'm loving it. This is such great information. Now, if I'm going to start a business, I know which two I'm going to go to.
Yeah.
To get my next question is for you, Professor Ken, and I'll go back on the branding again. Uh, Most brandings have a symbol, like Nike have the check mark.
Right.
How important is that for a business knowing what they sell, what product services they offer, to really match a symbolism of themselves properly? Is that important?
So the answer is yes, but let me give you a couple examples that will help illustrate that point. So if I were to do this, a little swish, what brand is that? That
That's
little
Nike.
swish? That's Nike, right? Okay. And we haven't practiced this at all, right? I'm just asking you some basic questions. If I said red and white, what brand do you think of?
Red and white. Oh, wow. Uh,
All right, let's go to another one. If I say brown, what brand do you think of?
Brown.
Yeah.
Oreo, yummy.
Uh,
L'Oreal or UPS. If I give you the letter M, what company you
right.
think of with M?
With them, I think of
I could do an M like this.
McDonald's.
McDonald's. So
McDonald's.
here's the illustration there. These symbols are known throughout the world, and I really don't care if you're in a different part of the world that doesn't get a lot of internet traffic, or you know what Nike is, you know what McDonald's is, you know what these brands are. So when you ask that question, does that symbol matter? The answer is yes. The logo matters. We call that the brand voice. When you have a brand voice, because you tie everything together. And just to pick up on what Caroline is saying, when you think about this and you engage and you start this, now it takes years to build a brand. Sometimes it takes decades to build a brand, right? So it's not something that you just pop up and it starts right away. Good brands have been around for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, that type, and 100 and something years. So it takes time to build this up. But now when you have a brand, not only are you selling product, but you have what we call brand equity. So Nike sells I think they're what, a $50 billion company or something like that right now, or 40 billion. But their brand equity is 3x or 4x or 5x because that brand is valuable. And that's what that is. So listen, I left the corporate world back in March and I branded myself Professor Ken. That's what I go by now. Everyone calls me Professor Ken. You can go to my website, profken.us, and that's my brand. So in 5 years, I hope everybody knows me like Madonna, or Justin Bieber or whoever else is out there. That's the idea. You want to build a brand, and a person, an individual can be a brand too, not just a product or a service.
Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. Very good. Okay. So if I'm a small business, I'm I'm I've been in business for a long time and I'm just now catching up to the modern technology. And I want to start off by building myself a website. What are the key essential things I need, just ground based starting off, to just get my feet wet out there in my business? What are the essentials that I need in a website to make it work?
All right, Caroline, I'll let you start that one.
Sure. Thank you, Professor. So there's the basics. The basic is you need technology, right? You need a good platform, which could be open source, could be WordPress. If you want to do an e-commerce site, then we've got all types of e-commerce platforms, right? But let's take a step back from that. Let's take a couple of steps back. When I meet with a potential customer for a website project, the first thing that I ask, and it's really annoying, say this honestly, do you have a business plan? That's where I start. That's me. Because to build that website, we need to understand the objective. We need to understand the audience. We need to understand everything. The technology is available. The software is available. The design skills will happen. The brand can be either created or repurposed or rebranded, right? We can create that again. But the website needs to start with content. I think that we all agree that content is king, cliche, but it is, and it's true. It will still be for many years to come. Content is king. So if we have a good understanding about what the website shell, because it's a shell with a lot of gadgets and plugins and right connectivities, we need to have the content. Content is your about us, what do you sell, what's your product offering, and that all is about your business, right? Those are not things that the web developer, the agency can come up with. We're not your brand. We're not in your business on a daily basis. So you really have to have a clear understanding of the content of your website. Step one. Step two, the audience, your target market, and so on. And then we get into the technical aspects. Do I want my website to connect to how many different apps? Do I want it to save a database? Do I want to do digital marketing? How many more apps do I need? How many more plugins do I need? So it goes on and on and on. It's a very long list depending on the extent of your project and the extent of how many more add-ons. It's really very extensive. There's no I'm done today. No, you're gonna have to redo that website or upgrade it every couple of months, every couple of years, and then when it's that 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years, and you're super tired of seeing the same website, do it all over again because it's totally valid. So I hope that answers some of your questions.
That does. I know Professor Ken is ready to jump in on this one. This is as baby as
I think we're aligned. We share the same exact thoughts. I would only build on that concept and just talking about that content for a moment. So if you boil it down, there's something that I call now the content pyramid, which is very important. So if you can envision a pyramid, at the very top of the pyramid are videos. Why? Because videos right now drive more traffic than any other channel that we have. So the number two search engine, Johnny, is what? Do you know what that is? The number two search engine?
is the I know it. I can't.
YouTube. YouTube's the
Right.
answer. Right.
YouTube, right.
So it right now it's very valuable to because of SEO and SERP to have some type of video out there that helps lift your website up. And at the top of that content period are videos. Then you have images and audio and the written word and all that stuff. But videos driving a lot of conversion today, a lot of traffic, and that's really important. And then you ask, what do you need when you start a website? And Carolina said it, the business plan. You have to have a strategy. You have to know that. And I boil that down to three basic questions. Number one, what? What do you do? What do you do that's so different, that's so special that I want to buy from you, right? Because our goal at the end of the day as marketers is to make our customers fall in love with us. If our customers fall in love with us and we convert them and we retain them over and over again, then we're building a business. Then we're building a brand, right? So what? What do you do? What makes you so different? Number two, who? Who wants you? Who is your target audience? And who's going to buy into what you're selling, right? So you have to really define that. And there's a little more science to this because marketing is a combination of art and science, right? And then the last question is how? How are you going to get this message out? How are you going to reach that target audience? And like Carolina said, there's all kinds of hows. I mean, believe it or not, snail mail, right? The traditional mailing is still effective today. In fact, I was just talking to a client. It's more effective now because people are at home and they're excited to get the mail again. So think about that. So there's still an opportunity, and Miramar just put up those incredible electronic billboards, right? Those two big billboards, one off of 75 and one not far from where I am here. That is a form of advertising. That's out of home advertising. That is still a big form. Carolina said it earlier because you want your audience to know you and see you everywhere you go. It's 360-degree marketing. Everywhere they go, they see Professor Ken. Professor Ken is there. Professor Ken is down the block. Professor Ken is in my grocery store. I can't get away from the guy. Now, when you need something, you remember me. That's what I want you to do.
Yeah, right.
Exactly right.
For sure.
Important.
Wow. Awesome. 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 My next question for you guys will be this. I'm old school and I still have business cards. I know we're in this digital world. I know we're in a world where everything is online. Are business cards a thing of the past? Are they still relevant to businesses?
So I'll answer this question this way.
Sure.
Right, here's mine right here. So mine's a little unique. I have it printed on both sides, right? And I give it out. It's a little different than the standard business card. So the answer to your question is yes. And here's why it's yes. Your goal is to get in front of your consumer, your customer, every way possible. Now, there's different reasons to having a business card. I'm in the service business, so a business card is great at what we're doing face to face. But you need to have something to leave behind, if it's a brochure or something like that. Or you could give them now. You could give them your ID through your phone. You could say just go to this website. There's a lot of things a lot of ways to do that. But I don't know. I think maybe 5, 10 years from now, we might be getting away from that, from the business card. But I still have one, and I know everyone I work with still has one. So, and they're cheap now, by the way, Johnny. You can get 500 cards printed for $10. So why not get them?
Wow. Wow. Okay.
I can't find mine. That's how bad
That answers your question.
That's how much you use them, right?
So it's a split audience.
Yeah, it is a split audience, and I think it has to do with generations, right? So I do a lot of networking, in-person networking, which I've stopped because of COVID. But when I do in-person networking, depending on the audience, I get these couple different questions. When I'm, talking to somebody and I'm not the type of person that, here's my business card. No, I don't do that. But if we get to that point, do you have a business card? Yes, I'll have my business card, right? I'll pull it out if they ask for it. I've had a couple different scenarios. Send me a quick text. Okay. Send me an email. Okay. Anything to get the business going, right? So whatever works for that prospect and whatever language, style, platform they want to communicate. At one time, I'm communicating through Facebook Messenger, regular email. I've had younger people say, "What's your Instagram?" Is that a business card? I guess that we can count it as a business card, right? So I think that as we see these different generations in our workforce and out there, right? Because we could have clients that are in their 20s, we can have clients that are in their 70s, we can have clients that are in their 50s. It all has to do with what's their style. I will adapt, but I've seen everything across the board. And I personally have used my business cards less and less every single time. It's more about send me a quick text, send me a quick email. And then from there, I have a paper trail, right? I have something that's connecting us digitally right away. And I have my V card and I send them the little thing. It's all good, right? Whatever connects with them.
Wonderful, wonderful.
It is.
Part of what I do for the city of Miramar is go out and I visit businesses and I talk to business owners, see some of the things that they need and what are some of their challenges. And for the most part, the businesses, especially the older or seasoned business owners, they haven't caught up with us yet. They haven't caught up with the new technology. What I'd love to see happen is for them to get a hold of this segment so they can understand how valuable and how vital it is, especially in a time today where people are doing less, we're practicing social distancing, but yet you can still generate business. I would love to see them take hold of this message that you guys are giving because it is so important for them to do that. One of the things I would love to Another thing I like to see happen is for businesses to understand what you guys have done today was to hear not only the importance of a website or branding or marketing, but understand the intent of it and understand how to build how it becomes a website, a branding for you, how you start branding off. And I think some of these things put fear in business owners who are seasoned business owners. It puts fear in them because they're like, I don't know. I don't know anything about, I don't know even what you're talking about. I had a business owner come in today and I was asking him to PDF file some things down to me so that I can help him out. And he looked at me like, PDF? And so, and so I would love to see, I would love to know that if some of the customers come to you and they're timid like that, how would you be able to make them feel comfortable enough to know that, hey, wait a minute, I got you. You're gonna be okay. Let's go through the process.
So that's exactly right, Johnny, and I'm seeing that throughout the world, mostly in our country too. And I do a lot of online courses, and I'm actually getting ready at the end of July, first week of August. I have digital marketing for boomers coming out online. It's a digital marketing course. It'll take you in 21 hours or 21 days, however you want to do it, because it takes 21 days to build a habit, right? It's something you have to work on. So I'm actually you'll see my beautiful face, and I have all my templates, and I go through it step by step, and I'm teaching specifically boomers and Gen Xers. I'm a Gen Xer, right? And I'm teaching them not only about social media, but how do you build marketing strategy? How do you tie in your old techniques or your traditional techniques into your new digital marketing platform? And I'll cover all of that because I did recognize that about 5 months ago, when I had someone come to me, and then I asked someone else, and within 10 phone calls, no one knew this. No one knew what a CTR rate. No one knew, what their ROI or the ROS is. They didn't have any clue on how to figure this stuff out. They just knew they had a website and they didn't know what it was doing. They just had a website. And some of those websites, like Carolina said, were a little dated, just a little dated. Every website has to be updated a minimum of 3 months because Google's looking for fresh content. So here's what I'll do. When I get that course ready, like I said, is right now it's scheduled to come out about the end of July, and we're building that out. I'll make that available to you, and maybe we could fish it out there and get some pilot going. But you're right. You need to know how to do that, and that's why I'm focusing strictly on digital marketing and all that right now. I've been doing hands-on social media now since last March, and I actually was just awarded the best social media company in Southeast Florida from Business Excellence Award because I dug in, I learned it.
Congratulations.
But here's what I did. I spent days and days and days for about 2 straight months just understanding how to do what I need to do and learn it. Now I've been practicing and teaching it for a while, but it's changing all the time. Just last week, Facebook changed some of the things. So you have to get in the game. You have to get in the game. And one last point I make. If you have a business today, and let's say you have a dry cleaner and you have to open up, well, we're not going to our business at all, but when we get back to where we are, you have to open up the door, sweep the floor, you have to do all these different things. Well, the digital marketing has to be on your checklist of things to do to start my day. That's where it has to start. And you have to make that a practice every single day. Spend the 15 minutes. That's all you need, 15 minutes a day. But you have to make it a habit. You have to do it for a minimum of 21 days straight. Otherwise, you'll never get to where you need to be. And right now, you know where everybody is? Everybody's right here. And if you're not here, you're not in business. That's the basic understanding of it.
True.
That's wonderful. Carolina, you want to jump right in or?
Sure, Johnny, sure. So when I get somebody who's a little bit less tech savvy or really doesn't believe in marketing, because you get one of those, so often, right?
Right.
Um, Occasionally, maybe more than what we would want to, right? So my approach is, by the time we're done with this project, right? By the time we're done with this project, you have had learned all the different phases, all the different techniques. So it's not only about creating their website, creating their brand, it's about the learning curve, the learning experience. My approach is, I don't have the online courses like Professor Keen has, but my approach is, and I say this in my elevator pitch, how does AlternaBit help you? We literally hold your hand throughout the process. So we help businesses and organizations succeed online, and we literally hold your hand through the process. That's really part of my elevator pitch. And it's true, I have phone calls set up, I have weekly check-ins, I have Zoom calls throughout my week scheduled, because it's not only, okay, here's your website and you're done. That's not everything. That doesn't serve my clients up, the end result. It's, let me give them the website that they're expecting. Let me help them with their brand. Let me get them to the point where they can actually take what I have built and do it themselves. To manage the back end, use these tools, understand them. If they get stuck, fine, they can come back to us. We will help them. We will set up a maintenance plan. We will coach them. We will do everything we can. And I do this because this is what I like. This is my passion. It's not only my business. This is part of who I am. If I cannot serve you as a business, because I'm a small business too, if I cannot help you, I'm not going to be satisfied either. So believe me when I tell you that for those that are listening to this podcast or video cast that we're doing, this is how we do it. We literally hold your hand because there's no other way. The technology is going to catch up with you, and don't fight it. Go with the flow, right? Just get on board. And if you update your technology, your computer where we're speaking through right now, you have the latest iMac or the latest model, you have an iPhone 11 and all that. Why wouldn't you upgrade your website? Why wouldn't you upgrade the technology that you use, right? So that's really where I wanted to chime in and just say technology isn't scary. um, it has its difficulties, but I think that the learning curve is well worth it. Very well worth it. Rewarding.
I come to both of you guys' classes because I can learn a little bit more about the website design and the marketing as well. I'd like to thank both of you guys for your professionalism, for the businesses that you do. I know about both your businesses. I know how articulate you are with them. I know how you are not just out there just to do business, but you're out there to help people grow their business. And I love that about both your businesses. And I know that very much for you from the both of you. I know you very well. Thank you for being a part of this podcast. Thank you for being
Thank
a
you
part
so
of this
much.
segment.
Hey,
I think this is going to go a long way for the business owners out there who are timid about this. Don't be. You have two people I've introduced you to, two businesses. You have EKN links, you have AlternaBit, and you have the owners here telling you that they are going to walk you through it. They have step-by-step webinars for you, everything you need to be successful. So do not do take advantage of this. It is a
and
great, thank you guys so much for being, any parting remarks
yeah,
for
and
our
just yeah, I do. Just to help you get successful, I put up a landing page, miramarwebsites.com. Miramarwebsites.com. If you go there, my goal in 2020 was to build and update 100 sites. The thing slowed me down a little bit, but I'm getting closer every day because people are coming back now. And I'm an expert Wix builder. That's the platform that I build on. So if you want a site, and here's my sales pitch, I can get you a site built for half the cost that I normally sell because I'm trying to hit my goal. So you can get a site built for under $1,000 today, a fully loaded site. And I can even get lower if it's just a static type site. So take advantage of that offer. Go to miramarwebsites.com. You'll see the websites we build. I put things on sale for you there. For $9.99, you can get a fully functional website up and running in about 14 days.
Awesome. Awesome. Guys, thank you so much for being our guest today. Listening audience out there, if you are listening, please take advantage of what these two professional powerhouses are telling you today. Again, my name is Johnny Douglas in the city of Miramar Economic and Business Development Department. Stay connected until next time we meet again. So long.
Thank you. All right, ciao.
Thank you.
All right, Paul. You two really need to get together. You
Yeah, we
guys,
will. Don't worry.
you guys are great.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
That was fun.
Awesome. Yes. 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 And you guys speak the same language and everything. Wow.
Absolutely. And Johnny, what I do when I get that course ready, it's the content's already done. We're actually putting it together now. It's a new company I'm launching. It's called 21daycourse.com. And in 20 the goal there is in 21 days, if you sit down and you spend an hour a day for 21 days and you go through these courses, you'll actually change your habit and learn something and add a skill. And the courses are specifically focused on baby boomers who are 55 plus, and the Gen X's who are 40 to 55, let's say. Maybe millennials, but I really don't want them because they already know what they need to know. So I have that set up, and I do want to get you involved when I get that ready to go in the next few weeks.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome. Professor, I wanted to ask you something. When you get those occasional clients that do not want the Wix website, send them my way, because
Absolutely.
what I do is I actually build custom.
Good.
I have a team of developers, and so we can definitely, you know, I probably get good 20% of customers that do want a website under 1,000. And those are the customers that I kind of want to, you know, I don't shy away from them, but I would definitely prefer to refer them to you.
Yeah, because and the reason why I do it so inexpensively is I have a couple people help me, but it's all templated stuff. It's not custom, right?
Yes,
So
I know.
basically, I'm dropping a picture here, a picture there, changing a little bit of content. So it's only about 40 or 50 labor hours put into the thing. Where if you build it out custom, you got to really get in there and design the architecture. And so, and I looked at some of the websites you have.
It's a different
I had
approach.
Yeah, I come across people all the time that want to build out certain things. Like I had someone that wanted to build out a very specific e-commerce site where they could have a database behind what they're doing. And
That's
I can't
us.
do that.
We
I'm
build
not a
custom.
coder. Yeah.
Right.
So that's good. It's good that
We
it's good that we connect.
did the website, the portal that the Archdiocese of Miami manages to do their gifts from Tri-County. They manage on our portal about 4 million a
Wow.
year. That's
Phenomenal.
the type of robust work that we can do. We can do cookie cutter websites, or we can do a whole portal custom built with multiple integrations, and you know, it could be right,
We
because
do that because I have a company that out of Europe that has a what we call marketplaces, right? So like an Amazon, and we're actually putting it into a couple communities and business communities and business chambers throughout the country. So they're building a marketplace, and let's say it could be MiramarShops.com, and all the businesses could upload their product and services just like you would on Amazon. So I have that connection, and that project, it's a big scale project. It's not a small scale project at all. But that's the future of where we're going right now. We're heading into micro markets. People are shying away from Amazon. They're still the powerhouse. Walmart just made that big deal with Shopify, so they're going to be competing with them. But the goal now is these micro sites, and that's, I think, going to be the wave of the future. Where can I shop? I don't want to shop on Amazon anymore. I don't want to shop on some. I want to shop at local places, local stores, and that's the future, I think. Yeah.
awesome.
Awesome.
Thanks, Johnny.
Thank you very much. It's always good to see you.
It's good to see you guys as well.
All right.
Take
All
care.
right. Ciao. Hey, Paul.